Hello, everyone. My name is David Rocha. I want to thank you for joining today's SUSECON session titled Demystifying SUSE Cost Optimization on AWS. For today's session, I'll be joined by Soumya Sekhar. He is a partner solutions architect at AWS and a specialist on SAP. As a PSA, he works closely with North America SI and ISV partners who migrate, host, and implements customers' SAP workloads on AWS. As I stated at the beginning of the session, my name is David Rocha. I'm a senior partner solutions architect that works closely with SUSE to bring their products and services to AWS customers. My primary goal is to ensure our customers are able to run their workloads on AWS while fully utilizing all the features available to them. For today's session, I'll cover SUSE and AWS's partnership, the benefits you'll receive when you purchase SUSE Linux Enterprise Server and SUSE Linux Enterprise Server for SAP applications from AWS, and how to buy SUSE Linux Enterprise Server and SUSE Linux Enterprise Server for SAP applications without a long-term commitment. I'll then turn it over to Soumya so he can cover the SUSE long-term buying options for both products. I do want to point out that although both products are sold by AWS, each has a different long-term buying option. So please stay tuned to his portion of the session. As a side note, Soumya and I will often refer to SUSE Linux Enterprise Server as SLES and SUSE Linux Enterprise Server for SAP applications as SLES for SAP. Andy Jassy, the CEO of Amazon, has an interesting quote. Is no compression algorithm for experience. And that quote definitely applies to the AWS and SUSE partnership. SUSE has been an AWS partner since 2010. And in 2012, SAP certified production workloads on AWS. And that first operating system that was certified was SLES 11. Highlighting another first, SUSE was also the first enterprise Linux distribution launched on AWS. Additionally, SLES for SAP was added in the AWS Marketplace in 2015. Now, we've had countless customers use the published images to migrate or launch SUSE Linux on Amazon EC2 instances. And over the past year and a half, SUSE has integrated in over 65 AWS product or feature launches. And this includes a number of new instances that were released for mission-critical workloads. For example, during reInvent 2021, Amazon EC2 R6i and M6i instances launched with SUSE support. They're powered by the latest generation Intel Xeon scalable processors, codenamed Ice Lake. These newer instances provide up to 15% better compute to performance and up to 20% higher memory bandwidth per vCPU in comparison with the previous Amazon EC2 generation instances. We also added new EC2 high memory instances in 2021. The new Amazon EC2 high memory instances are available in memory sizes of 3 terabytes, 6 terabytes, 9 terabytes, and 12 terabytes. And they give you greater flexibility for instance usage and procurement when compared to previous high memory instances. These instances are available for use with on-demand, savings plan, and reserved instance procurement options. Now let's take a look at two key AWS service integrations with SUSE Linux. AWS Launch Wizard now supports SAP S/4HANA 2021, SAP BW for HANA 2021, and SAP HANA SPS 06 deployments running on SUSE Linux products. So the AWS Launch Wizard offers customers and partners a way of sizing, configuring, and deploying AWS resources for SAP workloads. and it makes it easier for customer and partners to deploy and scale these applications on the latest SUSE Linux versions. Additionally, the deployments are in accordance with AWS, SAP, and SUSE best practices. The second service integration is Amazon Inspector. A new version of Amazon Inspector was released late 2021, which automates vulnerability management at the Amazon EC2 instance level. And SLES for SAP were available day one of the new service launch. There are two SUSE products that you can purchase from AWS. They are SUSE Linux Enterprise Server and SUSE Linux Enterprise Server for SAP applications. So let's take a look at both products and review the subscription duration options available when purchasing SUSE from AWS. Now, each of the products offer purchasing options based on your workload's requirements. If you need a server on a short-term basis, you can select the on-demand or pay-as-you-go model for both SLES and SLES for SAP. And I'll cover the no commitment buying options and a few additional details with you in the next section of the presentation. Soumya will cover the long-term buying options for both SLES and SLES for SAP. Now, those buying options do provide an additional discount for a long-term commitment. Additionally, he'll cover how SUSE provides you the flexibility to bring your own subscriptions, which allows you to migrate your existing workloads like SAP from your on-premise data centers to AWS while taking advantage of any prior purchase of SUSE subscriptions. Let's look at the why customers are buying SUSE from AWS. This slide contains key benefits when you purchase through AWS. First, you can be confident that your workload's in software compliance. When you purchase from AWS, you are running the software on an instance. You know that you're purchasing the correct number of subscriptions for your environment, which gives you the confidence that you're not overspending or undercounting your subscriptions. SUSE's AWS update infrastructure is included with your purchase. You don't have to set up a public repository to pull from or host your own update infrastructure. The Amazon EC2 instances are automatically configured to retrieve updates, security fixes, vulnerability patches from the SUSE update infrastructure. And this ensures your instance run efficiently and seamlessly at launch. You have a single support path. AWS will be your single support path for both SLES and SLES for SAP, as well as any other AWS product and service that you may have. So you know whom to call in a case of a support issue, regardless whether it's with SUSE or AWS products. You have ease of transaction and single source of procurement. Procurement can happen directly inside the AWS Management Console or AWS CLI. Additionally, the Amazon EC2 instance is launched with a fully supported SUSE operating system. And at the end of the month, you get just one bill to manage and one less vendor to approve in your vendor management systems. Enterprise Discount Program Drawdown. So when SLES and SLES for SAP subscriptions are procured through AWS, you have 100% EDP drawdown on the price of the software. This allows you to include your software spend in your annual AWS consumption commitment so that you're maximizing your overall discount. On demand, pay as you go, no commitment. So SLES offers an hourly on-demand price. The SLES price is based on the instance type that you choose and can be provisioned directly from the AWS console or AWS CLI. And when you provision the Amazon EC2 instance with the SLES operating system, you will only see one price reflected in your monthly bill. That price is a bundled price of Amazon EC2 instance plus the SLES operating system. And this applies to both short-term and long-term buying options. Now, this slide does include a snippet of the AWS pricing calculator that shows the cost for the R5 8X large Amazon EC2 instance. And please note, It does include SLES, and it is shown in a single price. Now, you can build similar price estimates using the AWS pricing calculator for other instance types, but please remember the Amazon EC2 pricing in AWS does vary by region. Now let's look at SLES for SAP. SLES for SAP is an AWS marketplace offering. It also offers an hourly pay-as-you-go purchasing option. So you can launch SLES for SAP through the AWS marketplace without any long-term commitment or paying any upfront costs. Because SLES for SAP is an AWS marketplace product, the listing separates the Amazon EC2 instance cost and the SLES for SAP software cost. So if you're looking at the image on the slide, it shows the cost for SLES for SAP 15 SP1 and an R5 8X large Amazon EC2 instance. So if you're trying to figure out the total cost for your workload, you need to add the compute and software cost to determine that total cost. Now you can view the other SLES for SAP costs and the cost breakdown for the instance types by looking at the AWS Marketplace listings for SLES for SAP. I want to thank you for your time, and with that, I'll turn it over to Soumya. Soumya?
Thank you, David. During the next portion of the presentation, we will focus on the choices that customers can make for workloads that are expected to run for longer timeframes like SAP. The long-term commitment, it allows customers to receive significant SUSE subscription discounts. Most importantly, we will highlight the customer benefits when they purchase the SUSE products through AWS. When you are purchasing SUSE Linux Enterprise Server or SLACE for longer term, purchasing reserved instances are one of the best options available for you to host your SAP workloads. Reserved instances or RIs with SLACE subscription, it offer you to purchase at a discount in return for a longer term commitment. And the terms are typically either 1 year or 3 years time period, and you are committing to run SLACE on a specific instance type and specific instance size. So this slide, it includes a screenshot from AWS Management Console, and it shows the purchasing of an M6A 4x large type of instance as a reserved instance for a longer time commitment. So please note, the pricing will change if you change the commitment term from 1 year to 3 years or vice versa. There is an additional option called convertible reserved instances or convertible RI that provides more flexibility to the customers. With a convertible RI, you can actually change or convert your instance types during your commitment tenure. And that gives you the flexibility to adapt your computing power to your changing computing needs. Apart from the difference, the overall concept of RI subscriptions and convertible RI subscriptions are almost same. So please note, the costs for convertible RIs are slightly higher than the regular RI subscriptions for the same commitment time frame. This is because convertible RI, it allows you to exchange the M6A 4X large type of convertible RIs to a different instance type and different instance family. So let's switch focus from SLACE and let's look at the SAP specific Linux distribution, which is SLACE for SAP, and the options that provide you a large discount when you are purchasing SLACE for SAP from AWS. So the first option here is annual subscription. Annual subscriptions, it offer a 70% discount against hourly pricing in return for an upfront payment for that entire annual contract. To obtain annual subscription, very first of all, you must be running a SLACE for SAP instance in your AWS account. You really cannot purchase an annual subscription for an instance that has not been launched. With that in mind, you can initiate an annual subscription purchase through AWS Management Console, and the annual subscription will be immediately applied to the same instance without any further action needed from your side. And the cost of the annual subscription will be reflected to your subsequent AWS bill. With annual subscription, you are committing to the instance type and the instance size, and you will be charged an hourly cost if you change your instance type or size during this annual term. So it is important to remember that if you would like to change the instance type or size during this term, you need to determine the break-even point between the hourly and the annual buying options. So as an example, we performed simple calculation. Annual subscription cost of an R5 8X large is approximately equals to the page costs for the same type of instance for 109 days. That means by buying an annual subscription for a workload that runs more or longer than 109 days, you will be saving money over that hourly cost. Additionally, once the annual subscription contract expires, you will revert to the hourly price for the slash for SAP unless you are reinitiating that annual contract. So please remember that when you are purchasing slash for SAP from AWS Marketplace, two separate costs they combine together and produce the total cost, that is Amazon EC2 instance cost plus slash for SAP software cost. Another way you can save money is through AWS Marketplace private offers for slash for SAP. Private offers, it provides you another option to save money while running your SAP workloads on AWS using slash for SAP. So let us dive deep into the private offers features as well as associated benefits. Now, AWS Marketplace private offer, it is a payment program and that offers you a discounted pricing in exchange for a 3-year term commitment to run slash for SAP on a specific instance type and a specific instance size. If you have launched an your Amazon EC2 instance from different AWS Marketplace slash for SAP listings, you basically need to have one private offer for each listing. Additionally, you can only have one private offer per listing. Let's look at an example. If you are running Amazon EC2 instance, which are uh, launched from SUSE Linux Enterprise Server for SAP Applications 15 SP3, let's say slash for SAP 15 SP3, and another Amazon EC2 instance that is launched from SUSE Linux Enterprise Server for SAP Applications 12 SP5, that is slash for SAP 12 SP5, you will have to submit and accept two separate different private offers, one private offer for each listing. Now, although you can add additional instances to the same private offer. Like annual subscriptions with private offers, you are actually committing to run uh, the AWS Marketplace list for SAP listings to a specific type of instance and specific size of instance. Additionally, if you change an instance from an instance type or size that is covered in that private offer, you will be charged the hourly pricing for the same instance type or the same instance size because you changed the instance type and size that is not covered in that private offer. If you purchase a private offer from AWS Marketplace and that is already have an annual subscription for the same product, right? The private offer will override that annual subscription. That means any active annual subscription will revert to pay as you go charges. There is a pre-qualification checklist that the AWS account team and the AWS marketplace team, they will review together with you to ensure that the private offer is signed without any issues. Benefits of private offer: a private offer, it provides you a 3-year term commitment with additional savings when compared to the annual subscriptions. For large organizations, a private offer, it allows you to purchase a subscription for multiple instance types across multiple accounts in a single transaction rather than performing many individual purchases using annual subscriptions. By using flexible payment scheduler, the flexible payment scheduler capabilities of AWS Marketplace, you can choose all upfront, annual upfront, or monthly payment schedules for your private offer. So with this, we have reached to the end of this presentation. We thank you for your valuable time and hope this session is helpful for you to host your SAP workloads on SUSE on AWS. Thank you very much.